core of what we've built, right? So I told you we're a first-party audience data technology company, but what we've built at the core of this, right, is what we call our DrivenIQ deterministic identity graph. Our identity graph has first name, last name, demographics, psychographics, sentiment data, attribute data. But just to give you some kind of depth and breadth of what we experience and what we actually have access to today, from a true set standpoint, we have over 235 million households, basically every single US household. From an identity standpoint, we have over 700 million individual records that are actually tied to validated personal identity. There's three ways to do business with us that we drive the biggest value for your organization today. Super simple. Click Add New, and there's three ways you can curate and create first-party audiences using our technology today. The first is using our cookieless pixel technology. So we're going to help you identify shoppers with the pixel, right? Individuals engaging on your website and creating a first-party audience using that identity technologies that we talked about. The second is we're going to give you access to all 700 million identities in our consumer first-party database to help you create the best audience that looks and meets and fits the needs of your business. And I'm going to show you that. And then last but not least is taking old and making it new, right? If you have a disparate data source, if you have just emails, or like, let's say, for example, you have old leads that were submitted and they haven't been worked, but they're sitting inside of your Salesforce or your CRM. You could actually submit a CSV file, just emails, into our platform. And just like that, we can enrich it, bounce it up against the 700 million profiles, and create a full 360-degree view of the customers. And now you took old data that has no value and you turn it into legally compliant data. Let me just start with the pixel technology because it's super simple. You come in here, you pick your organization, you pick Craftsy. I say craftsy.com. I come in here and I type in your URL, craftsy.com, and watch this. Just like that, I just provisioned a first-party pixel that can be installed on your site in a matter of minutes. What happens is 98% of your traffic will come into your site and they're going to shop, right? They're going to do research. They're going to browse products. They're going to look at sewing. They're going to look at crocheting. They're going to look at these products, right? And unless they're ready to reveal themselves to you, unless they submit a form, unless they buy, unless they chat or text you, you don't know who they are. And our system is going to identify them, capture them, and then sequentially stitch them together. We got first name, we got address, we got city, we got state, we got their phone number. This is the most important, ping validated emails. And then I talked to you about the B2B data. This is where it gets really exciting. How cool is this? To be able to look at these individuals and say, wow, here's this person that works for Zoomies, Zoomies.com. Here's a person that works for Zumba. This is an executive that works for Zumba.com. In this case, for B2B, you would definitely want to work it differently, right? Go to LinkedIn, engage, message them, build that funnel and work them very differently. Now, going forward, if you look, obviously we show the marketing opt-in dates, we show the opt-in sites, we show when they hit your site, the last date of your site. You can see if they're even on the do not call registry. One of the most important things is in legal, right? We're very big on privacy compliance, so we lead with it 100%. The goal of understanding your audience is, how can I then understand exactly who my ideal customer profile is? So what we've done is we build out what's called our taxonomy. And you can come in here and you can say, I want to do a broken grid, I want to do a small grid, and you can create your reports on your audience. So watch this. I want to see the average credit range. I want to see the average home price. I want to see the average gender. I want to see net worth. Okay. So, and look, we could change the way that the design is if we needed to. So if I wanted to see a funnel, whatever, right? So in a matter of minutes, I have looked across your entire taxonomy of 652,000 people, seconds actually. And I can tell you that the individuals coming to your site, like if you were to go build a lookalike, I would only focus on homeowners. I would focus on homeowners that are 40 to 60 years old, that have a credit range of 650 and up. And I mean, it's almost 2-to-1 female. Once you build your ideal customer profile, the goal is, right, let's go find more that looks like it. So let me show you one more thing here. I want to go back to the audience here for a second. And I want to show you something, because one of the things that I didn't show you, and this is super important, is what we call segments. Right now, I'm literally only looking at your website traffic. And I have the ability right now to even break it down by just the URL. I want to look at the individuals that are coming from Craftsy and they are coming to my account. I want to focus on my customers that are trying to log in. I have 101,000 people. And we said, I only want to focus on people that look like the shoppers that buy from me. So I only want to target 40 to 62-year-olds. Now look at this. I'm down to 37,000 people. And I said, I only want to focus on my customers that have good credit, because I'm going to send them that credit card offer that we talked about. So there are 16,524 people. And you know what? Remember, we were very specific. We said, let's focus on individuals that are homeowners. You know what? Let's go one step further. Let's say probable homeowners. And you know what? You get it, right? You get the picture. I can go all the way down to net worth. I can go down to what they do for a living. I can go down to their own investments, on and on. But for conversation's sake, we now have a custom audience of 15,186 people that literally we know have done this. They've come to our site. We know they've gone to my account. We know that they're 40 to 60-year-olds. We know that they have 650 to 800 credit score. These are our super fans at this point. These are our super fans. So now that we've actually been able to create a first-party audience from our pixel, right, and we've identified what that audience looks like, the next thing that we naturally want to do, right, is go build new audiences from that. I mean, think about it, right? You know that Google's sunsetting similar audiences. They just announced it last month. And then you cannot build a lookalike audience in Meta today. We're now accessing DrivenIQ's entire consumer identity graph. 734 million people today living and breathing in our graph. And I'm going to do the exact same thing I just did with you earlier. 40 to 60-year-olds. And I'm going to focus on individuals that have children 4 to 6, 7 to 9, 10 to 12. Now I'm down to 4 million people. We started with 700 million, and now we're down to 4. Like that. And then we also said that we wanted to make sure that we had the income to qualify. So we said 100, 150, 175, 250. And now we're down to 1.6 million people. Interests. There we go. Arts and crafts. And now we're down to 781,776 people. I think you get the point. That's great, Albert. 781,000 people. Fantastic. I want to go out and I want to do a direct mail campaign. I want to do a Facebook campaign. I want to go find all the people that look like the Craftsy intenders, and I want to run a marketing campaign, but I want to do it this time within within 15 miles of my address. So just like that, we created an audience of 655 people. Remember the B2B data overlay? I can actually then say, okay, you know what? I only want to target CEOs or C-level people, right? Or I want to just say, you know what? Only pull in people that are area sales managers, anesthesiologists, agency owners, and attorneys, right? 4 people, right? If that was your use case, we could get that granular that fast. So the whole point of this, right, is to create more efficiencies, give you better return on ad spend. And to be honest with you, we're filling a void in the marketplace that not even Google or Meta is going to be able to do for you in the future. The last piece here, so remember we talked about the 3 ways to build audiences. 1, understanding your customer journey and creating micro audiences. 2, accessing lookalike audiences and similar audiences from our consumer identity graph. The last is, what if you had a CRM file of, like I said, your customers that have bought from you in the last year, and maybe they haven't ordered from you in the last 6 months, and you want to offer them a special. So you got a 6-month old audience, and we're going to take an old audience that maybe it's just emails, right? And we're going to turn that into first-party data that we can actually activate against. So I'm going to come in here, and I'm just going to pick a random CSV file. And it doesn't matter. It's just got to be a CSV file. And our system's going to instantly sequentially clean up the data like that. Look at that. We just took a disparate data file. We absolutely sequentially matched it together. We've got 11,000 data fields. Okay, and you can come in here and you could pick your identifier that you're going to actually match against. And let's say this was, for example, this is not an actual proper file for this since I just picked one, but let's just say this was an actual MD5 hashed email. I would just literally click MD5 hash, or if it was a phone number, I could match against the phone numbers, and I can just click here, and then I can press complete, and I don't want to throw an error, so I would press complete, and then literally within 2 minutes, you would have a global audience, a customer list audience that would look like this, that was ingested and literally enriched. And then there you go. Same thing. Here's your data. And then last but not least, we can push the data out, right? So we can push it to an S3 bucket. We can push it through ADF XML email, or we can actually activate the data for you across all the digital pathways.